Flory Models Daily Show. Here we are on Wednesday the 17th of August 2016. First of all, big thank you to everybody last night. Great show. I apologise for that bloody computer. Do you know what? I'll let you into a little secret. I did. Sorry, someone's whining. Why are you whining? Say hello to everyone. Say hello. Oh yes, I know. Right, let me do this. Right, sorry. Animals, eh? Right, so the big thing is that I had did do a vlog yesterday morning, and it was, to be honest, quite a rant, and I decided not to show it because I thought my computer was fixed, but it was all about how people just palm you off when you know there's a fault and you know it yourself, and it's really annoying, and you're trying to explain it and they're like, well, we're just going to run through. Yeah, forget that, I know it all. We've been there. We've all been on a call center where they're running through a crib sheet and they're just reading the crap that they read to you last time, and I must admit I lost my rags with them. But anyway, they put me onto their so-called boss bloke, who supposedly knows what he's doing, and he went through all the bits and pieces and assured me that was it, and as we all saw last night, it wasn't. We literally were talking away and all of a sudden the screen just went dead, and then blue screen came up, and then the computer rebooted itself. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a disappointment. It only took us like 3 minutes. I leapt out of my chair, legged it round, reset everything, got everything up and started streaming again, so hopefully it wasn't too bad. But as you say, you can't work like that, and one thing that I've learned doing this job especially is that when you first start out doing this type of vlogging bits and pieces, and when you're recording yourself, and you know, with model making in general, it's always a nightmare when something breaks. So if you're using an airbrush and it breaks and you haven't got one, you're stuffed. You have to wait for replacement parts. So what I try and do is I have what's known as redundancy built in, which comes from my previous life, one of my little things. So what we have over there, that one there is technically the computer, which used to be downstairs, is up here, and as you can see, literally is, I've just finished actually editing. Glare, this is why I don't use these monitors anymore, get terrible glare from them, but it's just literally finished doing the editing for all the spray work, so that's going to be up with you tonight. It is going to be 50 minutes long, is that 35? Yeah, it's going to be around about 50 minutes long in total, but it's going to cover all the painting, including what technically most people would have as an outtake. I've left it in because yeah, happy little mistakes. Trust me, you're going to want to watch that one. Is that there was a huge cock up. I thought I had oil all over my model. Turns out it wasn't. Well, it was oil. Anyway, watch it and you'll see all about it. It's quite an interesting bit of a giggle, but I decided to leave it in. So yeah, so we have, this is the computer that used to be downstairs, which is now upstairs, and then that is the computer that used to be upstairs, which is still upstairs. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that is there. So what I'm going to do is this one, when this is all finished here, has got to go back downstairs, so that one's going to go down again, and then that one will come up here, and then I've got the drives, and then I'll switch them all around and we should be all good to go. That is because the time is 10:15. I must admit, I spent a couple of hours doing that. Oh, somebody asked me about this picture. Do you like this picture? I took that. I actually took that when we was in Alaska, up in one of the fjords with a glacier coming down. Somebody asked me about that. I can't remember who it was. So anyway, as you can see here, the computer is boxed up, ready to go back. Put it this way, it didn't end nicely on the phone. Got to the point where I went to their repair guy. Will let us fix it? No, you've had your chance. 3 weeks, we're not working properly. You've had your chance. So now that leaves us with this small technical problem. We have a hole. We have blank screens and nothing in here is connected to it. So the thing is, that actually means that none of the cameras, none of the audio, none of anything is connected up to a system at the moment. So I've got to get the other system down. So it's going to be another couple of hours out of my life, which I am not going to get back. So you love this vlogging stuff really, don't you? Anyway, what you didn't see yesterday was, in my wisdom, I really got on with a lot of stuff, and we got on with this. Okay, so I know you saw a little bit, but we've actually got the engine. None of that is actually fixed. It's just a loose fit just to go on there. Okay, but that does mean we are really pushing on, and we got the usual death and destruction after doing a live show, so I'm gonna have to go around and tidy everything up in a minute and put this back together. But it does mean, look, I've got blank screens over there and I can't use the HTC. Oh, nightmare, I can't use the Vive. So anyway, it doesn't affect anything from you guys' point of view. As I say, it just means we go a little bit old school for a week, or whenever. I don't know. I still don't know what to do about the computer. Shoot me up if you've got a good idea. Destroy my computer springs to mind, but it's say 1,700 quid we pay for that unit. Not impressed at all. So anyway, what we're going to do is hopefully get that sent back, and then, well, I'm hoping they're going to send me a nice new shiny computer. You know, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. You can only try your best, can't you? So if they send me a nice new shiny one, hopefully next week we'll be back to normal and it will work. If it doesn't, I might have to drive to Bolton and shove it up someone's, yeah, because as I say, it's one of those things. I'm trying to be stress-free about this, but as the lads will testify last night, it was like, really, I just can't believe this stuff. You know, as I say, especially when you spend a lot of money on something and it doesn't work. But this is part of life. You know, it doesn't matter if you've got an airbrush and you've paid 300 quid for an airbrush. And I don't know who keeps texting me this morning, but give me a break. It's literally every 10 minutes somebody seems to be texting me. You know, you can have an airbrush and it completely drives you mad and you just can't get on with it. And to me, that used to be the, I can't remember what it's called now, the Aztec, was it the 970 or 470? I don't know, the plastic handle one. That drove me mad every time I used it, to the point where airbrushing almost went out the window for me in the early 90s, purely because it just never worked well. And then you get a good piece of equipment, and when you get a good piece of equipment, where is it, bless it, Old Faithful, which is this guy. Okay, now I've had this airbrush now for 17 years. Since it was my direct replacement, I had it that much off with it. There's a story behind this. One night, 11:30 at night, doing commission work, I was that pretty naffed off with airbrushing. I happened to be online, and Vince at Models for Sale, a great guy, go and see his site. I know he used to work late, and I used to buy a lot of models from Vince for my commission work and things like that. So I must admit, I shot him a message and said, you know, about airbrushes, and he was like, oh, I've got these things, and he didn't really know what they were. And at the time, I think it was around about £55, shows how old this is. It was like, yeah, okay, I'll get one. And I tell you what, it's the best thing I've ever had out of Models for Sale in my life. No, Vince, seriously, good guy. But I had this airbrush, and it was literally like a light bulb moment, to the point where it was like night and day. It was literally from the first day I plugged this in. To be honest, I didn't have the connector, so I sort of jammied it on the end. But it was like, wow, look, I can do this, I can do that, I can do the other. All the things I could never get an airbrush to do, this thing did it. So, you know, really waffling on now. But the thing is, when stuff is working well and is working flawlessly, it's almost, you don't really notice it and you tend to take it for granted. Okay, so airbrushing as well. These airbrushes always work for me. But if you've got a bit of technology or something else, see, they're doing it again. Pretty soon that phone's gonna go out the window. But pretty soon, you know, you think if you've got a piece of equipment in your modeling life as well that isn't performing, seriously have a look around at replacing it. And yeah, this doesn't just talk about airbrushes, this goes for sort of everything. Riveting, you know, Rosie the Riveter. All these years, I have hated riveting with a vengeance, because it's just one of those things that really does my head in. I've used this once, and I'm now totally biased because we've done the 190 with it, and it is night and day. It's another thing. So sometimes it's well worth having a look around. If you've got a particular bit of the hobby or life in theory that you're not happy with, just see how you can improve it. It might not have to be a big thing. For me, it's a new computer right now, but for you, it might be your airbrush. So you might have a Harder and Steenbeck airbrush, which I still maintain is the best on the planet. It works for me, no problem at all. But if it's not working for you, have a go with an Iwata. You know, have a go with other people's airbrushes, things like that, just to see what works for you. You know, Rosie the Riveter, I think it's fantastic. John last night had the RB Productions one. There is slight differences between the two. We've had them next to each other and they're not identical, okay? But what works for you, you know? So it may be a scribing tool, it might be a type of putty, it might be a type of glue. So this is me doing my preacher bit to you all now. If things aren't working out and aren't going exactly brilliant for you, just take a step back, have a look at the products you're using and think, maybe, you know, it's not what works best for me. Everybody else might be using it, I might use it, the guys might be using it, but it might not work for you. So that may be, it's time to think, right, okay, maybe I'm gonna have a change. I'm gonna try another product, take the plunge, buy one, have a go with one, okay? And just see how you get on with it, because it may be just that little thing you need to improve your hobby, but not so much improving your work, but make you feel better about it. And for me, like riveting, for years and years and years, I hated riveting with a vengeance, that I would avoid it. You know, there's a good reason why I don't do the old Century series of kits and stuff like that with raised detail, because they're going to need rescribing. Now, rescribing I'm pretty good with. I'm not exactly worried about that. Re-riveting was always my thing. I hated it. Now, I'd be quite happy to pick up an old kit, sand it flat, get rid of all the raised detail, rescribe it, re-rivet it, and be good to go within a couple of hours. Yet before, I just wouldn't even contemplate it. It wouldn't be on my radar. So there we go, there's your thought for this morning about just trying to better yourself, feeling better. And this is what we say about this entire hobby, is that it should be enjoyable. It should be something where you get excited about. All right, calm down at the back. But you know what I mean? Where you actually think, I'm going to go and spend a couple of hours and I'm going to go and do such and such, and you enjoy it. You don't want to be thinking, oh God, I've got to re-rivet that, I've got to glue that, my airbrush is jamming up, it's spitting, I don't know why, and all the bits and pieces. It should be a very enjoyable thing, all of this. A bit like my computer. It should be a thing where I turn it on, I stream to you guys, we finish it, we have a great show, we have a laugh, everyone goes home happy. Not the bit where I'm thinking, that thing is doing my head in and it's got to go, you know, especially when you spend a lot of money. And that's the other thing as well. Have I overspent? Did I go completely over the top and now it's biting me in the bum? I know a lot of people are saying about you shouldn't have an overclock machine and all the rest of it. Don't forget, we turned the overclock off and it still did it. I know a lot of people have messaged me yesterday especially saying, oh, overclock machines are unstable. We turned it off. It was just running stock, everything, okay? We went in the BIOS and that was it, just the stock mode, no problem at all. But something is not right with that system. So when something's not right, do your best to fix it, and it makes for a calm, relaxed atmosphere. And it's quiet. It's absolutely silent in this place today. Probably because I've got fans running on a computer and all the rest of it. It just seemed definitely odd. Anyway, so from my point today, honestly, I've got a lot of editing to do because I've got to do the modelling editing, so I'm going to do that. I've got to get out your orders as well, because to be honest, I didn't get them out yesterday afternoon because obviously with the live show and we were a bit busy with everything. We've got to do that. I've got to get that booked on a courier and get it sent back to do whatever they're going to do with it. Apparently extensively test it. Right. So anyway, get the old marker fluid on it and see if the original one comes back, and everything else. So there we go, that's my thoughts for today. Hopefully you're a little bit more chilled and relaxed than everything else. But if you do need a giggle, watch tonight where I get oil all over this plane. It's quite a little thing actually, a bit of fun. There we go, that's it from me. Catch you all at lunchtime. Oh, before I go, yes, all the deliveries did come in. Lunchtime, we'll do a bit of an unboxing and a bit of mail time, because to be honest, down there, I've got loads of your stuff that you guys have sent me over the last couple of weeks, so we'll have a little bit of a mail time review. Okay, well, we're back. Okay, so, bring you up to speed. This is all I have left of my computer. Computer's gone back. The big hole, it's packaged, it's gone back, it's done, dusted now. Time to move on. Not sure how it's going to work. They're saying they're going to fix it, extensively test it. They're going to apparently get on it really quickly. I personally don't think we're going to see it back this week. Well, we're not going to see it back this week. I'll be surprised if we see it back by Wednesday next week. So, dilemma time. Do I hold out? Do we just send it back? Do we start fresh? I don't know. Give me your ideas. Give me your feedback. Also, the big thing is don't forget, is that, you know, I then got to try and get a refund out of them, and we know they're not going to just want to give up 1,700 quid from a system that they think's okay, I think's not. So I don't know how I stand legally from a point of view of like selling and stuff, because it's like a month now, but it's been a month of faults and all the rest of it. So if you are in the knowledge, let me know. Anyway, over here, I've been here for a while actually, it's quite nice over here. So a couple of things that have come in that we can do a bit of a thing. This turned up the other week. We haven't done the review on it. We did the review on the G5, but I was that impressed with it that I went off and did a few little silly things. So not only have we got that guy turned up, but I've got a few little goodies for it because I intend to build this one. I've actually got down here the radio gear equipment area for it. Now this fits down in the tail section. You've got the rear bulkhead and the radio is going to go for it. So I bought that for it. And then we've looked at one, we looked at the one for the G5, but this is one for the G6, is the complete cockpit set by Brezen as well. Again, it looks stunning, it looks beautiful, and I'm just thinking that as a nice little set is absolutely fine and will look great. And as we know, we've got over there some other bits for it. We've got the prop set and everything else if you needed it. I don't think it necessarily going to need it in this scale, but definitely something to have a look at. We spoke about the wheels for the MiG 31. I am doing that one. I've got that, and then in down here there's more of it. That's what we were talking about, that's why it's here. Okay, so first up I have this little package. I should have got a knife. Where's my knife? Okay, so this is a little package that I haven't got a clue. People ask me, how do I do this? Well, if I don't know what it is, it goes in one pile and I get round to it when I can. You know, because technically it's nothing that I've ordered or anything I'm suspecting from the usual suspects. If I get in here, I'm not quite sure what this is. Can't even get in it. Okay, try again. Oh. Well packaged. Okay, Geek Kids. Right, this is another, I assume, motherboard set for the Millennium Falcon. You might remember one of the members works with kids and they do electronics and everything, and they kindly sent me, I don't know what that is, something on the back, but I've got here another 2, looks like, sets of lights and various bits and pieces and LEDs for doing this. Is obviously this one, I assume, I suppose I should read the letter really. Got a little letter for it. Hi Phil, please, very sorry the first one was broken. I did manage to read through the problem at my end, I think. This one is fully loaded, ready for action. If you're not LED, it's simply, I really hope running fine. I'll read that properly because this, I'll just have a quick test, see if it works. If it does, what we intend to do, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it's probably user error. It's like me with that computer. You know, you just know they're probably looking and thinking, yeah, idiot. So there we go. That's the full LED set. Now this is working lovely. Okay, so let me just turn that off. Okay. You might remember when we did the Bandai 144 Millennium Falcon, you can buy a lighting set for it. Now the trouble with that lighting set is it's horrendously expensive. It's actually like 60 quid. It's more to buy that than it is the model, stupidly. These guys do it. What I'll do is I'll put together a bit of a thing for this, probably do it next week now, and I'll do a full review and I'll show you how to install it and all the bits and pieces that are going to go with it, okay? And I'll probably read that letter, but as I say, that is what that is. So that's actually good news because, to be honest, I am planning on doing a few more Bandai. Everyone keeps asking me, build Bandai, build Bandai. I will do. Right, what should we do next? Okay, let's do this one down here because I think I know what this is. This is from our very own Keith from the Northern Fob. Mr. Salisbury spoke to me, obviously, when he was down here. You know, I have to tape it up. Does he know I'm doing this live on air? So this is what I have to put up with, you see. Our very own Keith. Keith probably doesn't realise I'm doing this live. So yes, that's our Keith. He does make me laugh. Right. So in here is this. So he sent me it as he gets it. Okay, I assume with the bits and pieces. Thank you, Keith. So what happened is, we were talking the other day about Forge World stuff, and Steve, if you remember, he had his. Well, this is what this is, and it's amazing that you have this stuff turns up in a plastic bag. I can't believe it literally turns up like that. Weird. Okay, so anyway, this is his gunship, Raptor gunship type thing. Looks really nice. I'm going to review that this week so I can get it back to him, because obviously this is just down here on loan and everything else like that. So yes, I must say a big thank you to Keith for doing that. Bless your heart. Okay, I'm going to put it back down there because I'm terrified about it breaking as it is. A bit weird how they come in bags. What's that all about? Okay, so last up is this little delivery, which we have in, which this has got a couple of nicety things in here. I'm hoping it does. Okay. So there's a couple of bits in here for me. There's a couple of bits in here which are for the guys. Where should we start? So we'll start here. This was what was missing off of my last delivery, so I knew that was coming in. This is the Fine Molds TIE Fighter 148 scale. Now Bandai don't do a 148 scale, so that's the only kit in town for that at the moment. It is nice, and I haven't built this one. I must admit, I've done the Millennium Falcon, I've done the X-Wing, done a couple other things on my Fine Molds, but I've never done a TIE Fighter. That's 148 scale, so that looks very, very nice. What else have we got? Okay, this one was released last week. This is obviously the Harrier GR79. Now this is going to be a rebox, I assume, of, let me just check before I open my mouth. Yeah, it is the Hasegawa kit. Okay, so they've done that one for the upgrade system of it. Technically, Revel had the rebox of it as well, everything else. Anyway, the GR7 version, hen's teeth, can't find it anywhere. They were going for silly money on the net, and now obviously Edard have done their bits to it. I say I'll do the proper review of that. Don't know about this week yet, we'll see how we go on it. But technically you should get some very nice markings down in there. You can see the markings down on there, and you're going to get resin seat, wheels, various bits and pieces in there as well. I don't know if it comes with the nozzles, this one. But yeah, it's the Hasegawa one, and it's quite nice actually, because it actually says there Hasegawa plastic parts, which is really nice. Doesn't say anywhere else, but it actually does say in big wording, which is very nice indeed. Okay, so it's cartograph decals and all the rest of it, so really very, very nice with that one. What else we got in here? This, as then again, this is AK chucking somebody's kit in a box. I don't know whose it is. I'm assuming, again, don't normally have a look in the box, but come in. Come on, let me in. Come on. Yeah, it's Edard. So it's Edard's kit, MIG. I'm not going to look any further because I like to do it as a review, but just for you guys. So that is Edard's reboxing. The only trouble with these are, and I don't know because I haven't checked yet, is that as we know, when we looked before, it was obviously Edard's 109s. They are a lot more expensive than Edard's on their own. And obviously with Edard's you can get the same type of kit. Come on, give me a MIG, give me a MIG, give me a MIG. There's one. Because I've got them here in the stash. That way. It's going to be the same kit, but with the Edard ones you get the bits and pieces in there. With theirs you don't, you pay a lot more money for them as well, so depending on which way around you want to do things. But anyway, we'll be looking at that one as a review at some point. You saw me mention this last night. Told you I had it here, John. John brought it over for review, and I said, funny enough, I've got one of them coming in. This is the SU-85, the cat killer, I think they called it, because it was designed to hunt down tigers and panthers. Again, this is the mini art one, and it's very nice because it comes with the full interior detail set with it as well. So look out for a review of that one coming along very, very soon. Ian Smythe. No. He's been building this one, and he said to me, you've got to get one in, they're fantastic, and all the rest of it. I say 1/72, not my scale at all, but we're doing obviously 190s at the moment and everything else like that, but he says this is a fantastic kit. So we've got this one in for review. So you guys who say I don't do 1/72 stuff, watch this space. Okay, so we've got one of those in. And last but by no means least, well, sort of, we have down here, this is the colour photo etch set for the said MiG-31. It was out of stock last time I went for it. It is now in stock. That's all I'm going to put together with this particular kit, which is what we'll be doing in a few weeks' time. Okay, it's going to be quite a fast build on this one, and I might do it all in primers. Again, I've got all the primer colours coming from Mr. Paint, or whatever they call themselves. So this is just for those I thought would be worthy accessories for it. So that's what I'm going to plan to do with that one. So that's what that one is all about, and that is almost it. Apart from, I am going to have to do a review on it at some point. This is AK's Extreme, no it's not Extreme, is it? They just call it, no, it's their plastic primer and microfiller. I've got white, I've got 2 bottles of black over there already, and I've almost finished one of the grey, so that's why I bought a couple of bottles of each. To be honest, I am liking this stuff. It's really, really nice. It covers extremely well. It's pretty close, I think, to Tamiya spray as well. It's not that far out. It's really nice stuff to use. So that's why I've got that one here. So that's the plan with that one. So there we go. I have got some other bits and pieces, but I'm not sure what's in those, so I don't want to take the chance of opening them, just in case it's something else. But there we go. As you can see, it is a complete tip round here. Let me just show you how bad this place has got. Look, no computer. Black screens, oh Jesus. But look, this is what I have to live with. So yes, we will get all this sorted. There's the 190. That is up now as well. It is edited and done now, and as I said, it's like 50 minutes, and it is up on the site right now. So if you're watching this at, what time is it now? Come on, focus in. So look, you pay 500 quid for this, and it can't focus on a watch. Nope. Still can't do it. Anyway, believe me, it's 25 past 1. Okay, so there we go. That is, turn that off. About it for now. I don't think I've got anything else to show you. But yes, hopefully we're all good to go now. We're getting everything sorted. As I say, that thing with the computer, fear not, I will get it sorted out and all the bits and pieces like that, one way or the other. What I'm probably going to do is, because I don't want to take her down, the computer that's up there at the moment, is bring the old one down here, and that will run just for camera work, because obviously I use it for cameras and bits and pieces. It should be enough to do that one, the old one, so I'm going to bring the old one down here, plug that into the system, and we should be good to go. And then hopefully by Tuesday, because we need it for the live shows, the old one should be back, or new one, or whatever one it's going to be. Failing that, I'm going to go down PC World and just buy one. Okay, it'll be easier. So there we go, that's it for today. I'll catch you all tonight in the new show. Okay, so there you go. Not the best days. Say computers, nightmare, absolutely. But never mind. Hopefully we can look on the bright side and we're going to get it fixed and it'll be fine, is what I'm telling myself anyway. Anyway, this is up with you now. So obviously this is part 12 of the super build. It's up there. It's going to cover all the camera work we spoke about earlier and everything else. So it's 50 minutes. It's basically a double episode that's going to cover you and going to get you really up to the point where we go with the main body modelling. As soon as then that one, it will be up with you on Monday, and we're going to really push through on this one. For me, I was going to give it a sealer coat, but I'm not going to bother. I'm going to go straight in actually with the dark dirt wash right the way over this thing, just to weather it down, bring it down a peg or two. Then we're going to sand the paintwork as well, just to give it some texture, some life, seal that, and then we're going to come in then with the actual oils and really start to weather this in. One thing I'm very impressed with though, you can probably see I've actually fitted the engine, is in there properly now and everything else, and it went in a dream. Admittedly, I had to shorten by probably over a millimetre, probably about a millimetre, 1.5 mil, almost 2 mil, the actual engine mounting brackets, because they were well out. It was too far out and nothing would fit in. As soon as I shortened them down, cut them right back, located the engine onto those, we haven't had a problem ever since. And as you see, it's sitting there high and proud, looking very much the part. I was thinking about having the entire front off to show off that gorgeous engine, but again, I'm trying to stick with my original thought with this thing, to have it look like it's a line aircraft, just with the covers all open, as if it's having a bit of maintenance and being looked at in between missions. So there we go, that's it from me. Join us tomorrow, we're going to do those reviews we spoke about earlier. I'm actually going to do the SU85 will be up with you tomorrow night, and then we're probably going to do the Forge World kit on Friday. But again, I've got loads of different kits now, as you saw earlier, to get through, to bring you some great reviews over the next week and things like that. So there we go, catch you all tomorrow, guys.